Why have a Second Amendment? Well, maybe there's no reason to have a Second Amendment. Maybe we should get rid of it. But given that we do have the Second Amendment, it's a good idea to have a coherent theory about what it's for, what purpose it serves. And I think there are really 5 theories out there about what the Second Amendment is intended to do. The first is sometimes called the states' rights theory. Here the idea is the Second Amendment protects the right of the state governments to have an armed militia as a bulwark against federal power. Notice that the right is not a right of individuals against the majority government, and it's not even a right of the people as a whole against their government, but it's a right of the state governments against the federal government. By the way, I should say that the Supreme Court rejected this interpretation of the Second Amendment in a case called Heller. The second theory is that the Second Amendment protects the right of the people as a whole to rise up against a government that's not respecting the majority's will. This is sometimes called the insurrectionist theory. Notice that the Second Amendment still isn't a right of individuals against the majority, but it's a right of the majority as a whole. It protects, in a sense, democracy or majoritarianism. The third theory of the Second Amendment, sometimes called the auxiliary right theory, is that the Second Amendment is a fail-safe or a bulwark that protects individuals' or minorities' rights against the majority when other forms of legal protection fail. The classic example of this theory is African Americans after the Civil War using arms to protect their constitutional rights, their rights as minorities or individuals against the majority, so using their rights to protect themselves against a majority white population. The fourth theory of the Second Amendment is that it protects a particular type of interest that individuals have against the majority. And here the interest is one of safety. The idea is that arms possession is so important to protecting one's life and one's property and one's home that it should be taken outside of the normal majoritarian processes. The legislature shouldn't be able to decide this type of matter. One problem with this theory, of course, is that widespread arms possession might actually make us less safe. But there really is, I think, a fifth theory, which has the Second Amendment not protecting any safety interests that we have. It's admitted that widespread arms possession might make us less safe. But the interest now that's being protected is autonomy. The idea is that using one's own agency by force of arms to protect one's home or one's life is itself of value. One isn't beholden to the government to protect oneself. One's using one's own power to do so, and that this is of sufficient importance that it's worthy of constitutional protection.